was a Chippendales dancer briefly in 91 to 92 and a half or so.
Oh, a year and a half.
I also worked third shift at a recycling plant. That's probably my worst job. Chippendales was like a bad good job or a good bad job. Recycling plant was just a bad job. We would have to like separate. Well, you said lobster. So, for instance, we'd separate lobster shells from, like, people would throw it in the trash with their newspaper and cardboard and stuff. We'd have to pull the lobster shells out of the cardboard so they could recycle that stuff. So it was not a good smelling job. And the fact that it was third shift made it even more special for me, because I'm not a natural night owl at all. But it was decent money. I got my back to art school, like I paid my tuition with it. So no complaints.
Awesome. Joe, have you ever had like a really crappy job? Like, oh man.
I've had several.
Which one was the worst?
The one that comes to mind is I was a bar back at a TGI Fridays for about 3 weeks. And we used to have to take the bar mats along the floor of the bar up 2 flights of stairs to the dishwasher. And so by the time I get done with the day, my entire body is like soaked with beer. So like after 3 weeks or after the end of the night, you get tips like $8 for the night.
It's like, well, I made a whole $8.
And so I just stopped going to work. I never called in. I just didn't go in anymore.
It still pays better than comics.
But I'm clean. I don't have to take a shower so often.
There's the rub. There's the rub right there.
He's clean. It doesn't smell like an alcoholic, and he doesn't have that. And the bar mats always have that weird mix of just whatever's spilled in there.
Oh yeah, whatever's on the mat is now on your clothes. So.
Everything sticky and stinky goes on those, so you're probably good.
Yeah. So with that in mind, after the crappy job, you guys got to work on one of the best jobs in the world, comics. Get to go to cons, get to meet cool people, get to do what you guys love. Yeah. You have a good origin story about how you fell into this. But I mean, you guys all worked very hard to get to where you guys are. But yeah,
my hand, I go instantly. No, that's not it. I get my base words. How'd you get your start in comics? I'm just trying to inspire. I'm trying to inspire this kid over here. I went the general. What everybody does is you meet somebody in high school. They create a concept and they bring you in. I don't know if that's how you guys got in. Same thing. Same thing. Yeah. No, I had the good fortune of knowing Kevin Eastman.
Yeah.
We were high school friends, and when he met Pete. He was doing the lettering on the comic, so that was my in. I never lettered a comic, didn't know how to letter a comic. He gave me a letter guide, a ruler, gave me a 2-second lesson. I practiced. I met them at their very first con. I met Pete, and pretty much I think a monkey would have got the job. I was thankful that I was the one that showed up for it.
Sometimes that's all you got to do is show up. But,
right. And pretty much that, and not say the word no. Just say, can you do that? Yes, I can. So that was my way into the Turtles. I started on the early comics lettering, and then I painted graphic novels and started painting some of the covers. And then I like to call them the pizza-eating Cowabunga Turtles came out, and I drew a lot of that stuff. That was kind of where I got my fun in drawing.
That's awesome. Yeah, Keith, were you dancing at the time? And I was like, oh man, at Chippendales, I was like, this might not be a long-term solution to my life. Like, I like being half naked or maybe naked on a stage, but there might be a better way.
Give me $10 and this shirt comes off.
Hold on a second. Yeah, we're gonna take a collection.
I got 25 cents. What do I get for that?
Well, I mean, we can talk. I like to think I'm still in the middle of my origin story. Actually, I don't think I'm done being formed yet after all these years. But I did go to the Kubert School of Cartoon and Graphic Art in New Jersey from 91 to 94, hence the Chippendales, to help pay my bills at the time. And it was, I would not be here without that school, without, meeting Andy Kubert especially, and also Joe Kubert. They really guided me along and saw something in me. And broke me into Marvel when they felt I was ready. And then it's just been, the dream ever since.
That's amazing. And how did you fall into this This crazy
Uh,
industry.
I've been drawing comics since I was a child. So I have a book back at my table that I like to share with younger readers. A comic book I did when I was 6 years old. So I got my first rejection letter from Marvel when I was 10, and I have my career pretty much set since then to draw Spider-Man comics, and that's kind of expanded into doing my own projects as well. So, but my first gig as a pro was at a company called Valiant. Is there anybody here that
Any Valiant
knows
fans out
Valiant?
there?
Yeah,
There we go.
there's one. And so I got to work with people like Jim Shooter and Barry Windsor-Smith, Bob Layton, Don Perlin. These are like giants
Yeah,
in the
legends,
industry at
legends.
the time. Yeah.
And great guys too.
Yeah, very much so. So, to have them immediately available to learn from, that was probably worth more than